my name is Sherrie. I work for Magento. I'm the community manager there, and I get asked this question all the time. So I know a lot of you here know how to get involved in the community, but I want to share a little bit on how. This is actually a picture from the first conference I ever went to. So if you're first time here with the Magento community, congratulations, because that's an awesome way to get involved. For me, it made all the difference to actually get to meet people in the community face to face. Before I get into different ways to get involved, this is how the community got involved in Magento in 2015. You guys created over 2,500 pull requests and issues for Magento 2 on GitHub, presented over 500 talks on Magento or at Magento-centric events, produced over 130 podcast episodes. Just for the record, that's not just Mage Talk. There's also Magecast.io, if you're not familiar, Mage Engage with David Manners, and several others. Organized and produced conferences like this and meetup groups in over 20 countries, wrote 3 books about Magento, contributed to official product documentation, wrote literally countless blog posts. I attempted to count that, it was not possible, to raise awareness and education of our platform, and answered thousands of questions on Stack Exchange and the Magento forums. So give yourself a round of applause, because that's amazing. Basically, you're the best. But back to the question, how do I get involved in the Magento community? Community is not about you, and it's not about me, it's about we. It's about what we can all do together. And I think that's the most important part to remember when you're getting involved. When I met with John earlier this week in Paris, he was telling me that when he started Space 48, Mage Titans, his goal is to help the community connect, communicate, and collaborate. And I thought that was so awesome, because that's really what community is. That's community at its heart. I think the most important thing to remember when you get involved in the community, besides just starting, is to really just be a thought leader in your space. It goes so much further than self-promotion when you can just show your expertise. If security is your thing, then just share your thoughts and your knowledge on security. Don't worry about talking about yourself all the time, because other people will elevate you if you're sharing your knowledge. So with that, I want to go into different areas of where to get involved. And while I do that, I want to recognize some key people in those areas. This might take a while, because there's a lot of people, so bear with me. The first one I want to mention is the Magento forums. These are actually on our site, and we launched them March last year. Again, and already we have over 90,000 members there, 1,700 kudos, which is the community's way of saying, yes, this was a great response, thank you. And over 1,000 accepted solutions, which I think is pretty cool. So that's a great place to come and ask your questions. It's a great place to come and share your knowledge to help new community members. And I just want to give a shout out to some of our moderators there who have really done a great job stepping up this year. And that's Antonio, James, Brent, and Daniel. Another area to get involved is Stack Exchange. You probably know we have magento.stackexchange.com. It's graduated out of beta. It's an awesome place to get involved, and there's a lot of people there. Again, you can build your reputation there, just like you can on the forums, and help other people learn and grow in Magento. Shout out to some of the mods and key people there. Philip Jackson is one of the mods, Marius, who's also here. And of course, the Mage Stack Day crew, Sander, Anna, and these are not my most updated slides. There should be David there. Oops. Am I good? No? Sorry, speaker noob. Okay. Another way to get involved is the translation project. Peter Kaminsky helped us relaunch this year. These will be posted later, so don't worry about all these links. They'll be available. But that's one way you can get involved as well. And there are so many people involved there. I left some out because they're duplicated in other parts of this presentation, so don't think this is everyone. But if you're not as technical but you want to get involved in another way, helping translate the actual platform into different languages and regions is very helpful as well. So So there's Peter, Daniel, Raphael, Marcel, Peter, Oscar, Johan, Reuven, Sonia, Daniel, Timo, Willem, Matthias, and Kuba. Obviously, the project itself is another way to get involved. So you can go on to GitHub, you can become a contributor, and you can become an actual part of Magento. I want to give a shout out to our GitHub community moderator team, because to go through all of the GitHub contributors, we don't have time for. So we have a great group of people who are helping us go through GitHub issues and make sure that we're getting through them in a timely manner and help responding to everyone. And that is David, James, Vinay, and Damian. So thanks to those guys. We also have documentation where you can get involved. Obviously, it helps to know what the project is doing and how to understand it. And one of the ways that that really is beneficial, besides just our team, is for those of you who are in there using it day to day to help out with that. And we've had some really key contributors from the community for that in the past year. It's David again, Jonathan, Matt, Max, Alan, Jenna, Josh, and Eric. Podcasts. As I mentioned, there's a lot more than Mage Talk, but I want to make sure that you're aware of all the podcasts, because it's a great way to meet more people in the community, and also sometimes it's a great way to get exposure to be part of those podcasts. Whoops. Mage Talk, obviously. We all know that one. There's also the Magecast.io, which is a great place for actually learning how to do different things. It's Alan and James and Fabrizio who work on that. Mage Engage, if you haven't been there, is David talking with different members of the community, so you get to know them outside of just the Magento world and what they actually do in their day-to-day. And then Talesha started a yet-to-be-named security podcast, but it's a great way to dive a little bit deeper into Magento security. Blogging. So we have a lot of people, like I said, thousands of blogs. I can't even count. But I wanted to highlight a few who have really done a great job creating mini-series around Magento, or maybe their blog is fully centric around Magento. And with these, I have actually created a community digest on the forums where I go through and find different key blog posts that I think will help the community as a whole and spotlight them each week. So that is one way to definitely be involved. Everyone knows Karen Baker has her blog. Damian does a great job with the South America community, bringing them together through his blog with Magento. Andre is doing an awesome job highlighting different parts of the Magento 2 admin. A lot of people here probably have been highlighted on the Cloudways blog. Hirokzu, which I probably said wrong, so I apologize if he ever hears this. He actually did this really cool project in Japan where for the month of December, he had different people sign up so that every day there was a blog post on Magento in Japan, which I thought was really amazing. Inshu, a lot of us have learned from them over the years. Ash Smith from MemeBee did a great series on Magento 2 last year as well. Alan Storm. Ryan Street has been doing quite a bit on Magento 2 on his blog. So there are 3 books, like I mentioned this year. Books are another way to learn. They're another way to get involved if you have a lot of knowledge to share, maybe more than a blog post. Alessandro, of course, wrote the Magento Best Practices Handbook this year. Victor with the Magento DIY Complete Guide, which I think there's also a Magento 2 version of. And Branko also at the end of the year published the Magento 2 Developers Guide. Speaking in events, there's a lot here, so I'm not going to go into... Oh, sorry. Yes, Grokking Magento from Vinay, you're correct. That was not 2015, so I didn't include it. There are a lot of other awesome books. Definitely go check out Vinay's book.
But that was 2015, right? So that was 2015, I think.
Yes, I only had 15 minutes, so I couldn't go through all the Magento books. There's a million of them, which is amazing. Speaking in events are other ways to get involved. Mage hackathons, go check out these guys and see if there's a hackathon near you. A lot of times they surround conferences, sometimes they're independent. Imagine is our big event for Magento. It's in April. There's over 1,000 people there, also a great way. Get involved in our local meetups. I know there's more meetups beyond what's on meetup.com, but that's a great way to find local meetups as well. If you go to magento.meetup.com, they have several events around the world. Again, the more you can meet people face-to-face, the better it is to get involved. Magento Live, we just had Magento Live Paris. Saw quite a few of you there, actually. It's a great way. Mage Titans, obviously, you're here, you know that. The Meet Magento Association has Meet Magento events in everywhere, so go to their site and you can find a lot of those events. And then there's always other events on our site too, so you can always come check that out, and I try to keep them updated on the digest as well. And if you're looking for more places to speak in the general PHP industry, you can also go check out, I believe it's Cal Evans, does the CFP report, and that's a great way to find out what events are available that you can speak in. Obviously also Twitter. If you don't know, a lot of us chat around Magento on the real Magento hashtag. That's to avoid all of the marketing tweets on the Magento hashtag, and that's a good way to get involved in the community too. Okay, with that, this week we launched finally the Magento Master Program, which I'm really excited about. It's our way to give back to the community and really help elevate and empower you guys. This will be 20 people from the community who have been involved in several of the ways that I mentioned today, and they'll actually become part of like a regular meeting with our team where we're able to chat with them and hear their feedback, as well as recognize them. They'll be at Imagine, we'll give them an award, and it's just, I'm very excited. If you have any questions about it, you can definitely come ask me afterwards. And that's it. Thank you, guys.